had such a wide range of characters, wide range of settings in the source. How were you balancing as your career exploded, uh, partially due to the source, partially just on the merit of your other art? How did you
Mhm.
balance navigating working with the source versus pursuing all these other endeavors, like doing baseball cards, like break down some of the other things you were doing that people might not be
Well,
aware.
those came later in the source world, so I took on different things. But it also was this: I was doing stuff for Def Jam, I was doing stuff for Raucous, individual labels. I was doing stuff for other magazines, rap pages, doing illustrations for them because I was not under any exclusive contract with the source. Alan Gordon reached out to me about doing some hip hop wacky packies. And I loved the idea because I loved wacky packies and the artwork. So when he talked about hip hop wacky packies, and he had like a list of ones he wanted to do, and he kind of had a joke written for it. And I was like, can I add my stuff to it as well, visually? So I wound up doing like 8 wacky packy drawings. Uh Suge Knight, Missy Elliott, Master P on the bottom, Metamucil, all that kind of stuff, right? Um, and originally it was supposed to be one issue, all of them together. But I think Alan being Alan, and just to fuck with Dave, he put one on the last page in rap pages, and then he put another one the next month. And Maze calls me in the office. He said, "What the fuck is going on? Are you doing work for them?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing work for them." He's like, "How many more did they got?" I said, "Yeah, I did 8. They were supposed to be one issue, but Alan doing what he do, and I had absolutely no beef with Alan because that led to me uh, getting an exclusive contract with the source where I couldn't draw for any other hip hop magazines, which means they had to pay me a whole lot more per drawing than they were. And after that, I knew I had a certain amount of money coming in each month, guaranteed with the source. So it made me flexible. I mean, when the deadline was, I stopped everything else, focused on that, got it in, and then I was just able to um, do card. I mean, like I said, like you said, I mentioned I drew Topps baseball cards, which were like inserts for whoever got lucky to find them. I drew basketball, I drew football. Um, Started teaching because it was something that I wanted to do. So I had some time to do that, put my feet in, and realize it was something I see myself doing later on. So signing the exclusive with the source helped that, but then it also allowed me to write more. I tried to keep the two separate because as an artist, people was like, "We only want you to do this. You write? What do you mean you can write? We want you to. You're known for your art. We don't want you drawing." So that's where A.L. Dre, the rap name that I used to write under and rhyme under, which stood for Loud, Devastating, Rapping Lightnings, or Andre Leroy Davis, but they call me Dre. That's where the A.L. Dre came from. And for a while, I was able to do that, meaning no one knew Andre Leroy Davis and A.L. Dre was the same person. Started writing in '94. Reggie Dennis asked me to write a review for an album that had already been out. I think I chose a KRS-One album. He read it, he liked it, started writing for them. Everybody at the source booked and left during that whole controversy. J Mill took over for a little while. They called me in. I think I wrote like lots of different reviews. I remember writing a KRS-One actual review for that. And then I started writing for rap pages. I wrote for Vibe. I wrote for other places. Um, I wrote bios for artists. Um, but where it started connecting is because in order to get that check for writing, I had to give them my full name to make the check out too, because they weren't gonna make it to AL Dre. So then when I started writing for XXL also, uh, and Elliot had just left the source and went to XXL. Uh, Stuff at XXL started drying up because I had written a Beanie Siegel piece. I had written a what was the one with the hot female of the month? I forget the name of it that XXL would do, but I
Eye
wrote one
candy?
that
Was it eye candy?
yes, eye candy. Model named Lyris C. I took a whole different view writing the piece. I wrote it like we had met on a Oh, and not even an app then, but like a dating thing, and we were meeting a blind date, and that one kind of blew up and got a good reaction. Um, but then people was like, wait a minute, Andre Leroy Davis, L. Dre, the same person. You writing for the source? I mean, you're writing for XXL, but you're doing artwork in the source, and that kind of dried up writing wise because I wasn't gonna make no choice. I mean, I do both, so whatever. But funny story with that. I was at Blunt Records to meet with I forget her name. She was in head of publicity at the time. It'll probably
Was
come
it
back.
Wanda Snell?
Might be Wanda Snell. No, Simmons. What was her name?
Zenobia?
Yes. Zenobia at the time
All
was
right. Shout
up
out
there.
Zenobia Simmons. What's up,
Yes.
Zenobia?
She was up there at the time. And they were going on and on about how um what's his name? Damn, I'm tired. Uh, the name will come to me. But one of their artists who was hot at the time, who
Mike
worked with our
Geronimo?
yes, Mike Geronimo, hot at the time. Heard I was gonna come by. He was a fan of the last word, right? So I was there to talk to them about something. But I had also written the music review for his album under A.L. Dre, and he was pissed at A.L. Dre. So he wanted to meet Andre Leroy Davis because he loved the last word, but there was rumors of walking around, yo, hey, this dude, this A.L. Dre who wrote the review. So I met him as Andre Leroy Davis, and and that was it. So if he ain't know then, he know now.
That's
That
hilarious.
yes. So, but that's how I wanted it. I wanted to be able to do what I do both ways.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So with the city winery and some of the other things that you have where you're uh, doing these gallery type of things, like
Hmm.
city winery, for instance, you have a wine or it's in conjunction with it.
Yeah. They
So
put one of my pieces on a wine bottle. Yeah.
so how, when, and why did it end up happening? They put a piece of your art on a wine bottle.
Well, that's what they do. Anyone who is appearing there performing wise, while they are there, they're on the wine bottle. Like Big Daddy Kane was there like 2 weeks ago when there was a soft opening of my show, and he was on the wine bottle. So whoever is performing, they put him on the wine bottle. So I got gifted with the same thing that they do everybody else. Get put on a wine bottle. I mean, never actually was on my list of things to do, but I will take it because I like doing shit that I don't expect, and if I don't expect it, people don't expect it.
Yeah.
It's like that's the kind of like the way I go about things. If I surprise and make myself happy, which is my goal always, then those who really appreciate what I do, they're gonna be surprised and happy as well.
All right. And what do you find that doing these gallery type of things, what does it mean for you personally and professionally if the answers are different?
Um, you could immediately look at it and say it's ego boosting, and I'll take that ego hit because I keep it like 5%. But when people generally love your work and they haven't seen you, especially when they were younger, and now they see you now still alive and breathing, and if they didn't connect the dots of, yo, that's the artwork that was in the source, yo, that's the same dude who did the Ja Rule, or that's the same dude who did the comic book covers that I did recently. If they don't connect all of those, they get to meet me, see me, talk to me, have a real conversation. Um, that's good because if I'm going to inspire anybody, I want to inspire peace. I want people to be as good or better. Although, the MC artist in me is always going to try and outdo you somehow. But I got no problem if uh, you appreciate what I did. You ask me for some pointers, some tips to make your stuff better. That's the teacher part of me that comes out. This is trying to uplift. Um, like when I got reached out to the end of 2022 to have my artwork at the National Museum of African American Music in Tennessee, because I was in their whole gallery like from July to October last year with just my work. And this was by somebody who was a fan of my work who became in charge of the museum and wanted my work to hang. So it's like a legacy that I did 25 years ago is still a legacy to what I'm doing now and what I want to do in the future. Um, and as long as it's positivity and showing my people in the right light, I am good with it.
Well, there it is. AL Dre. Thank you so much for coming through the Unique Access, man. Always an honor speaking with you.
Always appreciate Mr. Baker for sure. I gotta give Baker his props too. Every now and then, I would not ask anybody. It'd be like a doctor where people would be like, and find out who I am, and I'll start giving me suggestions about what I should draw. I hated every minute of that. But there was people like Soren that I would sit down to. We would just talk all sorts of shit. And I knew he had a warped sense of humor. He may not show it to all of y'all, but he has a warped sense of humor that I loved because he would come up with some dumb shit that I liked. So he had like gave me one or two punchlines. I think they both might have been for Ludacris drawings. The one was I couldn't come with a tagline for a drawing. I had Oprah choking Ludacris, and I remember Soren just in the spot saying that sticky icky, and I was like, all right, and that shit just worked because it was the color purple and sticky icky. It just all worked. So enough respect always.
Yes, yes. We had a few great collaborations there on the last word.
Yes, yes.
And for those that really paid attention in this era, you could see my name was usually written in graffiti on
Oh,
the wall.
I always give somebody props if they gave me a punchline. I don't think that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I wrote Soren on the TV screen on one, and then somewhere that was the Bill O'Reilly thing. I think you came, and then the Oprah one. So yeah,
Yeah, we had a few great ones, man. Those
yeah,
great
indeed,
times, great times. Well, there it is. We're sending you continued success, AL Dre, and just always glad to see you doing great things, man. More of that to come.
indeed.